Testing mic 1 2 3. Last check, last check. Ya. Kuat lagi Din nak kuat lagi. Okay. Last check, mic 1 2 3. Testing mic 1 2 3. Last check. Testing mic 1 2 3. Last check. Testing mic 1 2 3. Last check.
A very good morning, honored guests, proud parents, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. I have great pleasure in welcoming you to the University of Nottingham, Malaysia's graduation ceremony, and I'm sure you'll enjoy this day. Also at today's ceremony, it gives us great pleasure to confer the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws to Miss May Sim Lai, who is the owner and founder of the London accountancy firm Lai Peters & Co. As this is a formal occasion, may I seek your kind cooperation in ensuring order and the smooth running of this ceremony with the following. Kindly ensure that all mobile phones are either switched off or in silent mode throughout the ceremony. Remain in your seats during the ceremony, students. And please note that photography is permitted during the ceremony, but only from your seats. And students, no selfies on stage. At the end of the ceremony, after the members of the platform have left the hall, all students are required to follow the procession out of this hall and allow the photographers to organize the group photography, and all other guests kindly remain in your seats until further notice. Guests are also cordially invited to join the officers of the university, staff and graduates for a buffet reception, which will be served in the marquee at the Academic Plaza. Outside this building, our ushers will be on hand to direct you accordingly. Thank you for your attention. Honored guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, may I please ask you to kindly rise for the entry of the procession.
Please be seated. Good morning, everyone. Professor Nick Miles, Pro-Vice-Chancellor of the University of Nottingham, Professor Keith O'Niens, the incoming Chair of the University of Nottingham Council, Lady Rita O'Niens, Ms May Sim Lai, Honorary Graduate, Professor Deborah Hall, Vice Provost for Research and Knowledge Exchange, University of Nottingham, Malaysia, Professor Fon Sim Ong, Vice Provost for Teaching and Learning, University of Nottingham, Malaysia, distinguished guests, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, I declare this congregation open for the conferment of degrees and the award of diplomas. It's my honour to welcome you all to this graduation ceremony at the University of Nottingham, Malaysia, and it gives me great pleasure to be with you here today. You're sitting obviously in the University of Nottingham, Malaysia, and I extend my welcome again to you. We've actually been on this campus since 2005, so nearly 15 years. But we've actually been operating in Malaysia since 2000. So we were the first foreign branch campus from the UK to open up in Malaysia, and we're very proud of that. Others have followed us, but we've got a much longer pedigree. I hope you have time, especially the people on my right, to have a look around our campus today. I believe we've got a spectacular campus. It echoes our other two campuses. We've got a campus in the UK, obviously, and it's got a Trent building and a lake. We have a Trent building, where you're sitting now, and a lake. And we also have a campus in Ningbo, China, which also has a Trent building and a lake. So we're very proud of the University of Nottingham and its global footprint, and the fact that we operate in 3 countries on 2 continents with quite a long and distinguished pedigree. As I said, you're sitting in the Trent building, and that's actually named after Baron Trent, who was Jesse Boot, who was actually the family, the Boots company, the Boots pharmaceutical company, if you've heard of that. They actually donated the first plot of land to the University of Nottingham in the UK. And we can trace our roots back to 1881, and we actually opened up our campus in the UK in 1928. So we're very proud of our legacy with the Boots company, and with Jesse Boot in particular, Baron Trent, and we named our main building after him. So as you go through today, please explore the campus. It is a wonderful campus. Take the time. Please take some photographs. There's some great photo opportunities with the lake, with the Trent building, and I urge you to go and explore and find our Nottingham sign, which has got a little bridge in front of it, and take some pictures of that. If you do, please post them on social media, because if I'm nothing else, I've got to try and promote the campus. Turning over to our graduands, you'll be crossing this stage in a moment, going from graduands to graduates, and I think you're at the end of a journey. I'm certainly sure you feel like that, but you're also at the beginning of another journey, and potentially a much longer journey, and maybe a much arduous journey. There's some statistics out that says 63% of students entering primary education these days will enter into jobs which haven't been invented yet. So a few years ago, who would have heard of jobs such as search engine optimization manager, artificial intelligence ethical manager, immersive reality technician, data scientist, AI quality manager? All of those are new jobs. And as you progress through your career, you'll enter into jobs that you've never heard of before. And I think gone are the days where there are jobs for life. Many of us of a certain age entered a job and thought we'd be in that job for life. And many of us, I exclude myself from that, I won't bore you with the details, but many of my colleagues, many of the people I went to school with, started work and they're still in the same jobs today. I don't believe that is true of your generation. You will be forced, or you will want to work in other jobs. And the reason you will choose is because the world is moving at a much faster pace than it has ever before, and you will need to change jobs to keep up with that. But you also have the much better opportunities these days to work globally. So I suspect many of you will work not in your country of study or not in your country of origin, but you'll work in many other countries. And one of the opportunities that this vast rate of change gives you is the ability to move around and change jobs. And I would encourage you to take advantage of that. Graham Wood, this was said in, I think, 2011, said, "Change has never happened this fast before, but it will never be this slow again." That was in 2011. I still believe that's the case today. Change is really happening very fast, but it's not going to get any slower. And one of the opportunities or the challenges for you is to keep up with that change through your self-development, continual professional development. The other factor I think that you should bear in mind is that companies don't exist as long as they did. Back in 1955, the average life of a Fortune 500 company was about 75 years. So you could join a company and be there for your working life. Today, the average life of a Fortune 500 company is 15 years. So even if you plan to stay with the same company that you start with, that option may not be open to you. But I think that gives you lots of opportunities. I think the other factor to think about is that we're now in the fourth industrial revolution and moving towards the fifth, depending who you listen to. The first industrial revolution really moved us towards steam, power and mechanisation. And those changes were not without its casualties. And we can look at that in somewhere like Nottingham. Nottingham used to have a thriving industry in the lace market, in the lace industry, lace manufacturing. And if you go to Nottingham, as I suspect many of you have, and if you haven't, I encourage you to do so, there's an area called the lace market, and there are typically lots of flats and restaurants, but that's where all the lace in the UK, certainly in the UK, but a large proportion of it was manufactured back in the day. And the first industrial revolution sort of saw that change and brought in mechanisation. So lots of people lost their jobs. But we hope through mechanisation that actually that doesn't continue forever. We hope that new jobs will be created. And with a degree from the University of Nottingham, I think you're well placed to take advantage from that. So we're now in the fourth industrial revolution, where the physical world and the digital world are merging. I'm a computer scientist by trade, and I think I know about artificial intelligence and data science and data analytics, big data. But you can't turn on the TV these days without hearing those terms. Everybody seems to know what machine learning is. I would argue that everybody does know, but everyone thinks that they know what machine learning is, what artificial intelligence is. But that's the way the world's going, and that's the world you're entering. And if you don't know what those terms are, you will probably get to know what they are in the next few years. So I just want to maybe give you a couple of words of, maybe not advice, but just a couple of comments. You've been here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Some of you maybe longer. And hopefully we've supported you and you leave the University of Nottingham with a degree which you're proud of and will actually enable you to build a good future for yourself and your families. Now please leverage on us. Take the opportunity to stay in touch with us and leverage on us. If we can do anything to help your companies, for example, by supplying graduates or interns, please come back and talk to us, find out what we're doing. So really, we'd like you to stay in touch. You now join a huge alumni of the University of Nottingham, and we'd like you to take advantage of that. But I also encourage you to find ways to give back to society. I hope you feel very fortunate that you've been able to study at the University of Nottingham. There's certainly a lot of people out there that would aspire to do that. And actually, if you can do anything to give back to society as you go through your maybe some further academic study or through your career, I would encourage you to do that. So please feel empowered to try and give back to society and give back to those who maybe are less fortunate than yourselves. I'd also like to give you maybe one word of advice, and this is a quote from someone called Melanie White. I mean, I think it sums up maybe the transition you're about to make in your life. She said, Now that you've graduated, just remember, bosses don't normally accept sick notes from your mother. And I think that means go out there, you owe it to yourselves, you know, you've got to work hard. And I'm a big believer in the saying, the harder I work, the luckier I get. So congratulations on your award today. You're going to cross the stage in a moment. I will shake your hand and my colleague, Professor Nick Miles, will give you a scroll. Just a couple of words of advice. Please walk carefully. I've been doing this for a number of years. I've not had anyone fall over yet. It's not the end of the world if you do. Someone will help you, but just step carefully. The most important thing, though, is you're going to have 2 photographs taken as you cross the stage. Please remember to smile, because that photograph is going to be on your parents' or your family's mantelpiece for the rest of your days, and trust me, you don't want to be looking miserable. So congratulations once again, and I look forward to meeting you as you cross the stage in a moment. Thank you. I'm now pleased to invite the Pro Vice-Chancellor of the University of Nottingham, Professor Nick Miles, to address you. Nick.
Professor Kendall, Graham I should say, graduates, parents, guests, good morning. So my name is Nick Miles. I'm the Provost of our China campus, University of Nottingham, Ningbo, China. And it's a great pleasure to be here with you for this very special event today, the 2019 graduation ceremony. So as Graham mentioned, this ceremony marks the end of a period of intensive study and important personal development. It's also a day of joy for parents, families and friends, those who have supported you emotionally and financially, and who will today feel very proud of your accomplishments. I offer my warmest congratulations to all of you. This is, as Graham mentioned, this is also the beginning of a special year for the University of Nottingham, Malaysia. We are 20 years old, or should I say, we're 20 years young. In 2000, we enrolled 80 students into 3 programs, computer science, electrical engineering and business, when it became the first campus of a British university in Malaysia. In fact, one of the first campuses anywhere in the world. In just 20 years, University of Nottingham, Malaysia has made remarkable progress. And now, in 2019, we have a thriving university with more than 5,000 students. We have a multi-faculty community. We have a growing research base. We have vibrant business partnerships. And we have a loyal alumni community. And we're very much part of the community here in Malaysia. This all bodes well for a very bright future. Your future is also bright. A degree from the University of Nottingham is testimony to your commitment, hard work and creativity. Not only does it provide a passport to the next stage of your development, it also equips you to succeed in a world of ever rapid change on a global stage, as Graham has quite rightly mentioned. You will now go into the world of work or further study at the global graduate schools. Whatever you do, wherever you go, we know that you will carry the Nottingham spirit with you. The skills you've developed here at the University of Nottingham, Malaysia, have prepared you well to deal with social and economic change, to be adaptable, to make the most of opportunities. Those skills have not just been developed in classrooms and laboratories, but also through involvement in clubs and societies, in volunteering and in social enterprise. These attributes I'm describing today as the Nottingham spirit are about making a contribution, about approaching the world with a smile and a sense of responsibility. It's these that make you so attractive to top employers and the best graduate schools in the world. So today when you graduate, you leave Nottingham's global community of 46,000 students, here at the University of Nottingham, Malaysia, at Nottingham in the UK, and at Ningbo in China. But you do not leave the Nottingham family. At the end of this ceremony, you become a member of an even bigger community, our alumni network, which numbers over 280,000 in 195 countries. We predict by 2020, nearly 20% of our alumni will be living and working in Asia. So I hope you'll be an active member of this community, whether through social media, involvement in the many events we run each year, or as a volunteer. Through your participation, there are many ways in which the class of 2019 can contribute to the continued success of your university. You can help us find and recruit the most talented students. You can support current students with mentoring and advice. You can donate to help support current and future students. So I'll leave you with 4 pieces of advice. Be bold. Make courageous decisions. You will be leaders. This will put you at the edge of your comfort zone. Failures. You will fail. Learn from failures, adapt. Winston Churchill once said, success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. I'll pick up on the theme that Graham mentioned about lifelong learning. And what I don't mean here is about taking a training program. What I mean is learn from people around you. Listen to what they are saying. Always prepared to be wrong and admit it. Humility is a great trait. Finally, be giving. Set out to give more than you take in life. It's very rewarding. It was once said, you make a living by what you get. You make a life by what you give. Thank you, and my warmest congratulations to all of you. Professor Kendall, we have a number of awards to give. We have a Lord Deering Award, a Vice Chancellor's Medal, and I will say something about the Nottingham Advantage Award. So the Lord Deering Award, this recognises outstanding achievements of University of Nottingham staff in enhancing the student learning experience. Lord Deering was the 5th Chancellor of the University of Nottingham, and he was instrumental in shaping UK higher education policy in the 1990s. A Lord Deering Award is highly valued within the university community, and many of the staff have been nominated by students they teach and support. Today, we'll be giving an award to a colleague from the Nottingham University Business School, Dr. Maniam Kalyana. The Vice-Chancellor's Medal recognises exceptional achievements in any arena by our staff or students in making a difference to the university through a substantive contribution which has enhanced the reputation of the university and had a noticeable positive impact on students, staff or the local community. Today we'll be presenting the medal to Amira Sasha Binti Mohammed Marzouk, a student in the School of Social Media, Languages and Cultures. And finally, I'd like to say some words about the Nottingham Advantage Award. The Nottingham Advantage Award is designed to give formal recognition to student involvement in activities outside of their academic programme. It's intended to increase their employability and add value to their overall experience at the University of Nottingham. Students must demonstrate significant achievement by undertaking a range of activities which could include volunteering, work experience, study abroad, language learning, enterprise projects, career planning, and activities supported by the Students' Association. We have a number of winners this year, and the names are listed in the Special Awards page of the graduation booklet. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. This morning we welcome a very distinguished guest who is to receive an honorary degree from the university. I have great pleasure in asking Professor Deborah Hall to present Ms. May Sim Lai to you.
Provost, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great pleasure and honour to present Mei Sim Lai, owner and founder of the London accountancy firm Lai Peters and Co, as a worthy recipient of an honorary doctorate from the University of Nottingham. Although Mei Sim has spent the larger part of her life in London, UK, she has always maintained strong connections with Malaysia and China, and over recent decades with the University of Nottingham. In fact, testament to Mei Sim's strong and lasting connections with Malaysia, she's dashing off after this morning's graduation celebrations to Kuala Lumpur in order to take part in the 120th anniversary of her school, Bukit Nanas Convent. Let me tell you a little bit about Mei Sim's amazing life, since she truly is an inspirational woman to us all. Mei Sim was born in Seremban into a Chinese-Malaysian family as one of 10 children. She studied in Kuala Lumpur until, in 1970, her father bought her a one-way ticket from Malaysia to the UK. She knew she had to support herself and decided, after leaving school, to train as a chartered accountant in London. As Mei Sim herself has said, that was one way that accountancy students from overseas could get a professional qualification and earn money at the same time. Arriving in London, Mei Sim joined a medium-sized firm called Priddy Brewster as an articled clerk while she gained her accountancy qualifications. Just 9 years later, she was to become Priddy Brewster's first female and first Chinese-Malaysian partner, and remained with the company until 2006. This long service, over 35 years, is a great demonstration of company loyalty. Mei Sim stayed with the firm until 2007, when she set up her own boutique practice, Lai Peters and Co, based in the City of London. Luckily, some of her former clients were loyal to her, and so they followed her from Priddy Brewster. So Mei Sim confesses that she didn't have to put a huge amount of effort into marketing to get new business. I can't really believe that, since the Mei Sim that I know always puts huge amounts of energy into everything that she does. As well as being a successful businesswoman, Mei Sim has given much of her time over the years to charitable and public activities, as well as supporting owner-managed businesses and small to medium-sized enterprises. It's many of these activities that led to her national recognition through a well-deserved appointment to the Order of the British Empire, or OBE, in 2004 for her services to equal opportunities. Mei Sim's wide-ranging charitable and public activities started back in 1983 when she joined the City Women Network. For those of you who don't know, this is a London-based community for senior professional women to connect, contribute, and develop their roles in senior corporate positions. While Mei Sim's initial motivations might have been business-related, on the lookout for new clients for Priddy Brewster, her involvement became much more than that when she became the network's treasurer. Who better to organise as an organisation's treasurer than an accountant? And then she became its chairman in 1988. So in looking back, Mei Sim recognises that in rising to the challenge of being chairman, she had to make speeches. She was interviewed by the media. She had to represent the organisation at various events. She had to forget about her shyness and talk to members. As you can imagine, being at the helm of an influential London network, the The personal development opportunities were fantastic, and this opened the door to many other things. The objective of the City Women's Network, to promote equality and diversity, aims to support UK registered charities which benefit women or children, and so it's perhaps not surprising that this high profile led her into a world of public appointments. And I'd like to share with you just some of those appointments. Advising to the UK Prime Minister on the Senior Salaries Review Body, Trustee and Director for Womenkind Worldwide, Honorary Secretary for the Institute of Directors City of London branch, Non-Executive Director for St Mary's NHS Trust, Chairman of the Mulan Foundation Network, Trustee of Television for the Environment, Non-Executive Director of International Women in Excellence, Member of the Board of Arab Women International Forum. I feel just exhausted having read these out. Maysim, you really do have an incredible amount of energy and dynamism. In amongst these long list of appointments, Maysim became connected with the University of Nottingham. In the first instance, this was serving for 5 years as member of the University of Nottingham's Globalisation and Economic Policy Strategy Advisory Board from 2007 to 2012, and subsequently as a member of the University of Nottingham's Impact Campaign Board, which raised over 240 million towards the work of the university across its 3 campuses. Her recent appointment as chairman of the British Malaysian Society is an inspired choice, since the University of Nottingham is a corporate member of this organisation, and it enables us to continue our interactions with Maysim, both at the student and staff level. My first real interaction with Maysim was in her role as chairman of the British Malaysian Society, when she reached out to us in January this year. She asked if we could help out in hosting a visit by a delegation of about 15 senior business people from the UK to Kuala Lumpur to explore opportunities for collaboration between the UK and Malaysia in the education, training, skills and executive programme sector. We were delighted to accept. Presentations from our staff about our educational and research programmes, lunch with our students, and of course, no campus visit would be complete without the electric buggy tour of our beautiful surroundings. Some of our staff also benefited by joining other activities in the programme, such as an afternoon session on talent development with ministers and heads of government agencies in Malaysia and a visit to MIDA headquarters. Maysim is truly a force to be reckoned with. Her career has demonstrated how it's up to women to drive change, be courageous, and put themselves forward for top jobs. One organisation that Maysim feels passionately about is the Mulan Foundation Network, of which she is chairman. This is an independent UK charity that recognises and celebrates the achievements of successful Chinese women globally through annual awards. There's a fascinating story behind the name of this organisation that I'd just briefly like to share with you. Have you heard of the legendary heroine Hua Mulan? Some of you have, yes. For those of you who don't know your 16th century Chinese history, in the Ballad of Mulan, Hua Mulan disguises herself as a man in order to take her aged father's place in the army. After 12 years of fighting, the army returns and the warriors are rewarded. But Mulan turns down an official post and asks only for a camel to carry her home. She's greeted with joy by her family. Mulan dons her old clothes and meets her comrades, who were shocked that in the 12 years of their enlistment together, they did not realise that she was a woman. Maysim, you are like Hua Mulan, a modest, unassuming heroine. I would like to thank you for your continued and demonstrated support to the University of Nottingham, Malaysia, and also for your selfless dedication in helping others, especially professional women. Maysim, on behalf of Malaysia, the University of Nottingham, and from me personally, I'd like to thank you for your contribution and service to the University of Nottingham. I'm delighted that we will carry on working together and that you've been kind enough to accept an honorary degree from us. Provost, to you and the whole organisation and congregation here this morning, I present Maysim Lai, an eminently worthy recipient of an honorary degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa.
By the authority of the University of Nottingham vested in my office, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Congratulations. Okay, we will be hearing from Maysim later on in the ceremony. We will now continue with the conferment of degrees and award of diplomas and certificates. By the authority of the University of Nottingham vested in my office, I admit the candidates presented today and those commended to their degrees, diplomas and certificates in absentia. I call upon Professor Lee Chu Ging to present the graduands in his faculty for their degrees.
Provost, to you and to the congregations, I present these students in my faculty for the following degrees. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours, International Communication Studies, Ainin Sofia binti Ahmad Zaki. Phoebe Chan Yi Jing. Joel Chong Zi Yi. Nicole Chao Jing. Ng Chia Ying. Heng Hui Yi. Natalie Kara Jim. Hazira binti Kamaru Zaman. Liu Y Yi. Lim Sing Yi. Shalini Lal, anak perempuan Mahendran Lal. Man Yu Chien, Amira Shasha binti Muhammad Mazud, Akmal Nazira binti Nasri, Oi Kai Yen, Farah Nisa binti Rosmei, Aina Nur Mahira binti Samsuri, Sim Ja Ling, Gillian Simon, Monisha anak perempuan Siva Naisan, Wong Li Ping, International Communication Studies with English Language and Literature, Afika Fariza binti Abdul Aziz, Chap Bungwat Noje, Suchitra Sai anak perempuan Sugumaran, Tan Siang Ming, International Communication Studies with Film and Television Studies, Shamila binti Abu Bakar, Chia Chi Hao, Muhammad Daniel bin Muhammad Azhar, Amanda Walter Mojilib, Daria Samshidi Nova, Tang Aung Hui, Wong Ka Man, Wong Li Yi, For the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honors, Business Economics and Finance, Chai Jun Yang. Chi Di Na. Zachary Luke Chi Keng Jing. Choi Yi Zhang. Michael Sean David. Lisa Louise Dominic George. Maham Hamid. Prashan anak lelaki K. Palanival. Ke Cheng Zhen. Bashir Ashab Khan. Matthew Law Kang Ten. Lee Huan Bin. Lee Xing Wei. Lee Wei Chun. Leong Cheng Wai. Leong Kai Xiang. Elvin Ng Wei Yan. Ng Ki Xiang. Ng Xing Ying. Pang Sok Fang. Filion Phua Wei Sun. Ershad Faizin bin Rosli. Brandon Sim Jing Kai. Sanjeev Menon anak lelaki Suraj. Christine Zi Chui Lee. Tay Wei Hao. Tham Si Yan Amanda. Wong Shi Yu. Wu Yong Jie. Yap Yao Jack. Rainy Yong Jun Yi. Walter Yao Sun Yen. Business Economics and Management, Niaz Ahmed. Julia Mercia Jobert. Raga Ramakrishnan. International Business Management, Fasrul Azri bin Abdul Aziz. Lamed Adnan. Bon Jovi Chia. Go Jie Ming. Arifa binti Najmul Haku. Sirikanya Jayatiti. Vidya Waladari Jatmiko. Radha Liha Charun Ku. Pang Ang Tu. Leon Tan Beng Lee. Tan Woon Yen. Management, Ali Atuf Ahmed. Omar bin Iqbal Farooq Khan. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, Chu Ching Yi. Adam Khan. Kumaya Aki Maki Isa Maki. Rizal Lina Majerai bin Sulong. Vernon Valentin Anak Maurice Budik. Nodiana binti Muhammad Afandi. Izzat Shahabdi bin Muhammad Salehuddin. Chi Yuan Bernice. Amitabh Suman. Ma La Aung Kathy Aung. Brandon Ui Si Kiong. The following students has been conferred their degree in a previous ceremony held at the University of Nottingham, China. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours, International Communication Study, Chelsea Ling Yong Chi. The following students have been conferred their degree in a previous ceremony held at the University of Nottingham, UK. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours, International Communication Studies, Kukum Nunu Lusan. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours, International Communication Studies with Film and Television Studies, Michelle Samantha Beauville. For the degree of Master of Science International Business, No Nahija Zahira Zainuddin. For the degree of Bachelor of Arts with Honours, International Communication Studies, Dia Idina binti Jafar. For the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours, Business Economics and Finance, Basil Muhammad Abdul Rahim Mahmud Kabus. For the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours, International Business Management, Nazrin Ismail bin Isan. For the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours, Business Economics and Finance, Abdullah Shah Sheikh. For the degree of Bachelor of Science with Honours, International Business Management, Uzaiya Shahid.
I now call upon May Sim Lai to address the congregation.
Professor Graham Candle, Pro Vice Chancellor of the University of Nottingham, Provost and Chief Executive of the University of Nottingham, Malaysia. Professor Nick Miles, Pro Vice Chancellor of the University of Nottingham. Professor Sir Keith O'Nyans, Incoming Chair of the University of Nottingham Council. Professor Deborah Hall, Vice Provost for Research and Knowledge Exchange. Professor Fon Sim Ong, Vice Provost for Teaching and Learning. Distinguished guests, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, may I start by first of all saying how delighted I am to be here this morning for this truly memorable occasion, not just for me, but for all who are receiving their degrees today after all their hard work and efforts. Many congratulations to you for your success. So may I also thank Professor Deborah Hall for the oration and her kind comments. And thank you very much indeed to the Provost for conferring this great honor upon me. I have been using two initials after my name, OBE, for Officer of the British Empire, and DL, which stands for Deputy Lieutenant, as I am one of Her Majesty's, the Queen's representative of Greater London since 2006. The lieutenancy dates back to Henry VIII's time, when, if there is an uprising against the king or the queen of the day, it is the Lord Lieutenant and his deputy lieutenants of the county that would have to raise the militia to defend the crown. At my installation dinner, when I was president of the City Livery Club in 2006, one of my guests specially came up to me to ask me to settle a dispute in the group that he was sitting with about what DL stood for. Some thought it stood for Doctorate of Law. Others thought that it stood for something else. So I was able to confirm that it did not stand for Doctorate of Law, but that it stood for Deputy Lieutenant. After today, I will be able to say to anyone who asks such a question that I'm a deputy lieutenant and I'm also an honorary doctor of law. As already mentioned, I was born in Saramban, one of 10 children, 6 girls and 4 boys. I was the middle child, which I think accounts for my keen interest in equal opportunities and my very strongly developed sense of fair play. As already mentioned, I was educated at Convent Bukit Nanas in Kuala Lumpur for 12 years. I was pleasantly surprised to be invited to accept the honorary doctorate of law. The timing was perfect, as I had already booked to be in Kuala Lumpur on this very day to attend the 120th anniversary dinner of Convent Bukit Nanas. Founded in 1899 by the nuns of the Congregation of the Holy Infant Jesus, our school motto was, simple in virtue, steadfast in duty, a principle that I have followed and still follow. My father was an income tax officer with the Malayan Inland Revenue. He certainly did not have the financial means to send us all to study abroad. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. My father definitely believed in as many of his children as possible gaining a professional qualification so that we have the means to earn a good living. Consequently, several of us in the family are professionals, including a doctor and 3 daughters who are English qualified chartered accountants, myself, and my 2 sisters, Dr. Lai Mei Ling and Lai Mei Ping, who are sitting in the first row here today. My father did buy me a one-way ticket to London 49 years ago. And from then on, I was financially independent from the first day that I started as an article clerk in the firm of London Chartered Accountants called Priddy Brewster, which has already been mentioned. Through hard work, I succeeded in being promoted as partner of the firm in 1979. As mentioned, I was the first female and Chinese partner in a firm that was established in 1914, and at a time when there were very few female partners of professional firms, let alone a Chinese woman from Malaysia. I was very fortunate that my partners believed in a meritocracy, regardless of race, sex, or background. So as a partner, technical competence and the ability to get on very well with partners, staff, and clients were taken for granted. There was also a need to bring in business. That is how, in 1983, my networking activities began. The Chinese have a saying, when you do business, you lo sai gai, which translated means to mix with the world. To be successful in business, who you know is more important than what you know. I have now been actively networking for over 35 years. It has led me to all sorts of things and areas, such as, for instance, my connections with the University of Nottingham. The previous Vice-Chancellor, Sir David Greenaway, and I served on the Senior Salaries Review Body. We were appointed by the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom to advise him on the pay of 2-star generals upwards, the judiciary and top civil servants, as well as very senior managers of the National Health Service in the UK. The body even dealt with parliamentary pay. So we decided on the pay of the Prime Minister, the cabinet ministers, MPs, and members of the House of Lords. We also did the pay of the Greater London Assembly, the Welsh Assembly, and the Irish Assembly. So I was on the panel that took evidence from Boris Johnson about his pay. And now he has become the Prime Minister. At that time, he was the Mayor of London. So through networking, I have become involved with several women's groups, charities, government bodies, as well as a number of international business groups dealing with UK-China, UK-Australia, the Middle East, and so on. So, as mentioned again, last year I was absolutely delighted to be appointed the first Malaysian-born and the first female to be chairman of the British Malaysian Society, set up some 35 years ago to promote bilateral relations between the UK and Malaysia. So University of Nottingham, we have to thank them, has been a very staunch supporter of the British Malaysian Society. We live in a fast-changing world. Many of the jobs that are around today will not be there in a few years' time. And because of development of technology and artificial intelligence and machine learning. There is a great need for all of us, in particular, the younger generation, to keep up with the technology, communication, and people skills needed to be successful in business and in life. Having the right mindset, a positive, can-do, no-problem approach, clear goals are all essential. Not only do we need to help the organization that we are involved with to promote their brand, but we also have to promote our personal brand. 50 years ago, Neil Armstrong stepped on the moon. His famous quote was, "One small step for a man, a great leap for mankind." The Chinese proverb, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." Neil Armstrong's journey to the moon started with his decision to become an astronaut. For those graduating today, your future career started with the single step when you decided to enroll with this world-class super university. The world is now your oyster. So I wish you good luck with the remaining steps you will be taking in your life journey to achieve your personal and career goals and aspirations. So I congratulate you on joining the 280,000 alumni members of the University of Nottingham worldwide. And finally, may I wish the University of Nottingham, Malaysia, all the very best in its 20th year. Thank you.
May Sim, thank you for those very kind words, especially at the end. We hope to see you during that 20th anniversary. We try to avoid politics in our graduation ceremony, but I like the way you weave that in. I'm just very grateful you didn't mention the B word. I'd now like to invite Professor Von Sim Ong, our Vice Provost for Teaching and Learning at the University of Nottingham, Malaysia, to present her closing remarks.
Professor Graham Kendall, Pro-Vice Chancellor of the University of Nottingham, Provost and CEO of the University of Nottingham, Malaysia, Professor Nick Miles, Pro-Vice Chancellor of the University of Nottingham, Professor Sir Keith O'Nyans, incoming Chair of the University of Nottingham Council, Lady Rita O'Nyans, Miss May Sim Lai, Professor Deborah Hall, Vice Provost for Research and Knowledge Exchange, distinguished guests, graduates, fellow academic and professional services colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. Earlier today, you entered the hall as graduates. Now I address you as graduates. Today, the graduation ceremony Today, the graduation ceremony is a significant and a major life event for all of you, your family, and your friends. So celebrate this wonderful moment. I am sure you have mixed emotions, both happy and sad. Happy because you have now finished all your exams. You need no longer worry about any deadlines. You did it. Sad because you are leaving behind strong friendships that you have forged over the years. These friendships will remain, I'm sure, with the help of social networking sites. You probably will feel uncertain about your future and your careers, but if you follow your heart, choose a job you love, go with all your heart, you will never have to work a day in your life. Now, I didn't say this, Confucius did. So congratulations again, as you have now entered into a distinguished community of over 10,000 alumni from University of Nottingham, Malaysia, and around 280 alumni of the University of Nottingham worldwide. This is truly a worldwide community. We have 3 campuses globally, as you have heard earlier, and 1 in 4 of our student body studies in Asia and Southeast Asia. Our international reach means that everywhere you go, you will not be far from an alumnus or an alumna from the University of Nottingham. I would urge you to celebrate and embrace this community that you are now with, so stay engaged and in touch for the following reasons. 1, your fellowship in our international alumni network gives you that extraordinary potential access to people who are now leaders, nationally or internationally, in a huge variety of sectors, and to people who will become such leaders. So basically, engaging with the alumni community could in the future reap huge dividends for you in your businesses or your careers. Now, you also have been privileged to have received an excellent education and a start in life by being a Nottingham graduate. give back to that community. And you can give back in so many ways by engaging with our alumni activities, mentoring our students, whether face-to-face or e-mentoring, and perhaps you'll be in a position to offer placements or internships to our students. Next year, as you have heard, Nottingham, Malaysia will be celebrating its 20th anniversary. So, class of 2019, you are new to our alumni network, but you have immediately a fantastic opportunity to come forward and celebrate with us next year. We hope that you have had an outstanding experience at the University of Nottingham. Spread a good word about the value of Nottingham education experience and become one of our ambassadors to help us recruit and support our next generations of students. Thank you. Now, class of 2019, please stand. On the stage, you will see represented some of the academic and professional services staff who have made possible your achievements to date. They are owed a public gesture of thanks. On your left are all the family and friends who have supported you in many ways. They are owed an even bigger public gesture of thanks. So please, if you may, please face to your left, and please express your thanks to these people in the usual way. So I'm not sure we can hear you, you know. So I'm sure you can do better. Come on. Thank you, and congratulations again on your achievements.
Thank you, Fon Sim. I now declare this congregation closed. I invite you to stand while we play the national anthems of the United Kingdom and Malaysia.
Ladies and gentlemen, honored guests, please be seated. On behalf of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Nottingham, Professor Shara West, and Professor Graham Kendall, Provost and CEO of the University of Nottingham, Malaysia, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude for your kind presence at this graduation ceremony. To our guests, please join us for our buffet reception after this, and please remember to present your tickets to the ushers before entering the buffet area. And for your kind information, the reception will be served until 1:30 p.m. Thank you all for making this an event which is so memorable to our graduates and their families. Thank you and have a very good afternoon.